Behind me is a job site that is nearly $30,000, and surrounding us is equipment amounting to probably a little bit more than that. Truck, enclosed trailer, dump trailer, thousands of tools inside and out. And today I'm going to be going over how I got my first clients to make all of this happen. We're not the biggest company yet, but we're getting there. We're growing at a very exponential, rapid pace. So I'm gonna be going over how I started, got my first initial clients. But first, let's do a quick tour. What's going on here? It's Friday night, and we're unloading stone, and by we I mean Santi. He's hustling as usual. This is nice stuff. We got like very expensive material on this. Not all clients are gonna go for this kind of thing. And that's part of the topic of today's video. How do you get the higher end clientele? Because I didn't start with this kind of clientele. It's not like it's a six-figure job or anything, but 30,000 bucks, right? He's using nice stuff. So we're using Teco block, doing some stepping stones side of the house. I just picked up these tires today. Just show them off in the vlog. This is like 1,300 bucks in tires because we went through like 2-3 tires just in this week alone. So I decided to bite the bullet, get some really good bulletproof tires. So yeah. Obviously, front entrance we were talking about. Also overlaid the front steps. Looks beautiful. In the beginning, when I started my business, I used to think that like no one would pay for this kind of thing. Like when I started by cutting lawn, cleaning gutters and cleaning windows. When I was doing that, it felt like no one would pay me $100 to clean their windows. Like everyone would fight me to give me $100 to clean their windows. Everyone would fight me on the price of gutter cleaning. I'd say like $200, I'll get up on your roof and I'll clean your gutters. People would be like, too expensive. It seemed like everyone was cheap when I was charging cheap. As soon as you start to charge like above a few $1,000s, it feels like everyone's like way more chill. It feels like everyone has money. Because now like any lead I take is minimum paying like $2,000 for their job. Minimum. Like I don't think we've done a job that low this year. I think minimum's been like 5. But you start off and you work your way up. But initially it seems like everyone's cheap when you charge cheap. That's why you don't want to be the guy that's known as the cheap guy. You want to be the guy that's known as the guy who does quality work. And they're like, hey, Dylan's a bit expensive, but he does great work, right? And then we've had like 5-6 people on the street come up to us, ask us what we're doing, ask for quotes. Belden sent me like 2-3 numbers in the past week of people who have come up to him on site. They see us in the branded merch. They see the yard sign over there. They see the boys working. They see the trailer, the trucks, and they're asking for quotes. They're asking what our process is. We talk to them. We're handsome, charming young men. We close the deal. So you get clients like that, right? Word of mouth, that sort of thing. But let's walk around the side. Let's talk more. Let's show off more of the project, and I'll go over how I sort of initially got my first 1, 2, 3 clients. So this was an upsell. We have some perforated tubing running under the whole lawn area here. We did this pipe. It was like $650. It's like anytime you see like a drainage pipe or anything like this, just upsell a pipe underground. They don't have to deal with one of those ones that runs across here and you're tripping on it. So easy upsell here. Doing all this river stone on the side. This was like a one-day job. Sod cutter, fabric, river rock, $900. Honestly, I think I undercharged for that. I would have done a little bit more, but just a little bonus throw in with the rest of the project. To the back, big beautiful patio. Not done yet, obviously. We still need to do the soil around, the sand in between, river rock on the other side. Get a nice shot of those steps. Look at those steps. Look at the patio. Stunning. Just stunning. Still need to install the railing and that sort of thing. But there's a lot going on here, a lot of moving parts to this project. We'll go around the other side. I think my first ever client, I was just like pulling weeds out of his garden for $12 an hour. That is a fact. And that's how I started. That was literally my first client. I made a post on Facebook for like the neighbors in my community group. You know, your mom's probably a part of one of those websites. I think she might have even made a post for me. Like, my son's looking for work. I wanted money to pay for soccer. And so I made a little post and I started, cleaning up for this guy, doing random stuff around his house. I was bargaining for minimum wage, but he said, no, I'll do $12 an hour. I said, deal. I was not an entrepreneur back then. I did not know that I was working for less than minimum wage, child labor. But that's how I started. That was my first client. And here we are 7 years later, and we're doing decent sized projects. You know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but each one's getting a little bit bigger, a little more moving parts, a little higher quality. And I certainly wouldn't have dreamed that, you know, working for 12 bucks an hour, weeding some guy's garden would turn into all this. There's a lot of ways to get your initial first clients, but you know, I get a lot of DMs on the Instagram asking like, how do you get leads? How are you advertising? How are you getting all these jobs? But really it's just a matter of like trying all of it and see what works, because one thing that works in one area might not work in another area. If you live in a town where all the houses are spaced super far apart, maybe you shouldn't do door knocking or handing out flyers, you know, because then your time is wasted in between houses. You have to think what could be most effective. Anyways, all that to say, there's a lot of different ways you can get your first client, but a lot of you are probably wondering like, how do you get them to trust you? How do you get the confidence to do your first job? How do you know how to do your first job? How did you get into all this? Which I will explain more as we show the rest of this project. We're gonna be doing those big stones that Santi and Belden were moving all the way down here. We also had that little side step we did. I threw it in for like 1,500 bucks, I think, which again, sold myself short. If I were to re-quote this job, I would have quoted it at like 40,000 bucks. But like people ask me all the time, like, where did you learn to do all this? And I'm like, guys, I don't know how to do any of this. Well, I do. I know all the theory, and if it was life and death, I could figure it out. Like building a step is not rocket science, but really if you want to circumvent that learning curve, just hire someone who knows what they're doing and like split the money with them. You know, you're looking for confidence to get your first job. The first landscaping job I did was last season, like the first proper one, and I just like, I didn't even know how to do interlock. I was like, I'll find someone who knows how to do it and I'll figure it out. Sometimes you just gotta send it. You put that pressure on yourself, you'll figure it out. Hopefully that covers how you can get your first client, right? Technically, you can advertise, you can door knock, you can hand out flyers. The confidence to do so, you'll develop the confidence as you go. This is like my 100th project. Obviously, I'm more confident than when I started, but for the first one, it's going to be uncomfortable. As with anything new, you just got to send it. And the technicality of how you execute a project like this, you'll also learn how to do that on the go. You'll learn as you develop, but if you want to circumvent that learning curve, just hire someone who knows how to do it, talk to people. So I reinvest like basically everything I made last month, everything I'm making this month, it's all back into new tools. So that's pretty much what's going on at Deluxe. If you guys have any questions, comment below. If I can help you in any way, I will. Hit me up on the Instagram. We're hovering around 13,500 followers, so that's blowing up. We're trying to blow up the YouTube now, so hit the subscribe, and God bless. Start your business. Lock in.